Hey guys, this is Blake from Blake's Sanctum, retro site for retro games. Subscribe.
Welcome to a special bonus episode in my website and video series covering classic civilization genre games like Colonization, Master of Magic, Test of Time, Alpha Centauri, Call to Power, and of course the Civ series itself. In these bonus videos, I'll be touring some of the awesome fan games and my favourite scenarios and mods for all these games, as well as my own personal mods, while also trying to sneakily play as the barbarians via hacks or cheats. In my main series, I show you how to play these great old games in HD using either special versions, tricks or mods. Check out the playlist link up top or in the video description and comments below to see the other episodes.
Hey guys, are you picking this up? Good. Welcome to another special bonus Civ 2 episode. What's this? The Sid Meier Civilization 2 main menu has been CnCified, and looks like the Civ 2 intro video has been CnCified as well. As yes, this is a Command and Conquer Tiberian Africa scenario for Civilization 2, created by me, Blake. Just Blake. From God to Kane to Blake. One vision, one purpose. The technology of peace. Now why am I quoting lines from two different CnC games? Because this is a remaster of an old CnC Africa scenario by Wonks 2150 that was an interesting hybrid mix of CnC 1 and CnC 2 units. So I've decided to set the story between both games and continue that hybrid theme throughout this remaster in the units, images, sound effects and videos, including this very introduction sequence you're watching right now. So let's get to the briefing, shall we? Now I know you need more background, but we're up against it. In this video I'll be talking about some of the cool CnC scenarios out there for Civ games, including my huge and up and coming Red Alert 2 Siege of New York scenario. I'll talk about how this CnC scenario remaster came together. I'll take you on a full tour of all its features and the changes I've made. I'll play a few turns as GDI trying to survive the Nod onslaught, and then I'll finish up by discussing my future plans. So if you want to skip to any of these parts, I've put chapter time skip links in the video description below. Now this video is not only the big final release announcement for the Command & Conquer Africa Total Conversion scenario for Civ 2 MGE, but this video is also a bonus episode to my big Civilization 2 main tour episode that's part of a huge Civilization video series and website tribute looking at how to play classic Civ games and spin-offs in HD and showcasing some of the best looking total conversion scenarios and mods out there for them. So check out the playlist link below if you're a big classic Civ fan and want to see these great old games looking better than ever. Now I'm a huge Command & Conquer and Red Alert fan, so much so that I have a website tribute to that series too. And as a teenager playing the CnC games, I always dreamed of being able to play a 4X Civilization scenario based in that universe. Clearly others had the same dream too, as I found plenty of old forum threads at Civ Fanatics with people talking about making such a thing, but sadly so few ever got made, as while there's a whole bunch of cool Dune scenarios out there, including one that I'm making at the moment, it just didn't seem to happen for CnC. For Red Alert, there's some Civ 3 scenarios out there by Commodore, Reddy, and an unfinished one by Zao. There's also a scenario for Civ 4 by Doxo, and there's some Red Alert factions for Civ 5. And as for Civ 2, there was just a simple scenario with barely any graphics made by an unknown author, so I decided to make up my own up-and-coming Red Alert 2 Siege of New York scenario based on the first mission of Red Alert 2, where you're literally battling with tanks in between garrison skyscrapers in the streets of New York. For CnC Generals, there's some faction mods for Civ 5 and for Civ 6. However, for the original Command & Conquer Tiberian universe, there was next to nothing other than some factions for Civ 5, but I did manage to find some old unfinished Civ 2 scenarios. I'd always dreamed of a scenario set in the dark, apocalyptic, Tiberian-infested world of CnC 2 Tiberian Sun, so I was excited when I saw Joab's Dark Brotherhood of Nod scenario, but sadly he never finished and released it. But then I found an old Command & Conquer Africa scenario scenario by Wonks 2150, set in the same Tiberian universe, but it was sadly lacking in good custom graphics. However, I'd just finished working with Metropolis on our crazy Heroes of Might and Magic 2 total conversion mod for Civ 2 that changed nearly everything in the game, so I had learned all sorts of cool tricks, but I wasn't hugely motivated to create a new scenario from scratch, so I decided to take Wonks' Africa scenario and convert it into the dark apocalyptic Tiberian universe scenario I'd always dreamed of making. Now, as mentioned earlier, Wonks' scenario had a weird hybrid mix of CnC1 and CnC2 units, which was a bit strange, but I decided to take advantage of this and set the story between both games, as the original CnC1's 2D top-down unit graphics didn't really suit Civ 2's 2.5D isometric engine, but thankfully there's some great mods for CnC games out there that recreate CnC1 First Tiberian War era units in higher resolution isometric voxel graphics, bringing them up to date with their CnC2 Tiberian Sun counterparts. So I reached out to the teams behind some of these epic mods like Twisted Insurrection, Crystallized Dune, Mental Omega, and the Tiberian Sun Asset Expansion Project for permission to use some of their units, and was able to downsize and import some of their great stuff into this mod. So, welcome to Tiberian Africa. As you can see, we've got lots of custom graphics including city events, and I've done a nice dark and moody city background taken from CnC3 of Kane and the Nod Temple. As you can see, Nod have huge armies ready to attack, and there's lots more Nod units and buildings you can build as well, and because the trooper unit sprites are so small, I decided to make them into little squads, increasing their size in the game. So why don't we send one of them in to attack the GDI? As you can hear, we've got lots of nice custom sounds as well. In fact, I spent a ton of time extracting sound effects out of the original CnC games and putting them together in different formations to create sound effects for every unit in this mod to really up that immersion. It's quite funny hearing all the old troopers screaming and agony sound effects again. Now, GDI players will find it hard to hold on at the beginning, as their forces are stretched pretty thin, so their defences are quite light. However, some of these bigger cities in the north do have some tanks and firestorm city defences, so I'm using some heavy firepower to break through. But what I actually recommend Nod players do is focus on taking as many neutral warlord cities as possible, as they are very lightly defended, and the more you can take, the more infrastructure, economy, and science you can set up to research stronger units and use them against the GDI. And because Wonks set up these neutral warlords in the barbarian slot, the AI GDI player will attack them as well. So you need to take as many of these cities as you can before the enemy player does. And to slow you down, Wonks has set up a bunch of GDI and Nod village units around the map that will get in your way, and you'll have to clear them out first, or take the long way around. Once again, we've got another nice city event image. I'll sell a building so you can hear the sound effect for that too. And I think we'll build a stationary Nod turret there to defend our new acquisition for Kane. But let's turn on cheat mode and reveal a bit more of the map so we can see what's going on. If we head up north, we can see that GDI have a fleet of reinforcements from Europe, and you can see around the rest of the map, I've got a lot of imported graphics from both CnC2 for the terrain and CnC1 for the map and the city bases, and even a little bit of Red Alert stuff in there too to fill some gaps. And yes, if anyone's wondering, those Tiberian trees and fields will expand and are quite dangerous to be near. Now, GDI players can take comfort in the fact that they are in much better shape in South Africa, and there are stronger forces down there that you'll need to bring up to stop the Nod advance. And you can send those tanks out thanks to you having some nice advanced guard towers down there to keep the cities safe. Over to the east, there's a neutral player in Madagascar who won't attack you, so you can leave him alone if you want. And back up in the north, there's a bit of naval action happening here, so I may as well chuck a cruise missile across those pesky GDI ships to show you that sound effect too. Oh, good stuff. Now, just like in my Heroes of Might and Magic Civ 2 mod, I've gone through all the advisor screens, replacing all of the backgrounds with suitable equivalents from the Command & Conquer universe, as I tried to find things relating to spying and money and science and cities and people looking at maps of intel. and important wonder buildings. And speaking of wonders, I've added a whole bunch of them into the game and given them to the various players, giving each different faction their own special bonuses. Now why don't I change players over to GDI so I can show you some more cool stuff. And while we're playing as them, I may as well attack with this cruiser to show you that sound effect too. Ooh. Now if we go into diplomacy again, we can now talk to Kane. As you can see, the whole screen looks quite different to regular Civ 2's diplomacy screen, as I took ideas from Nighttime's diplomacy screen that he helped us with in the Heroes of Might and Magic 2 mod, and I've now developed a new transparent sci-fi sort of holographic screen template for my up-and-coming Dune 2 scenario, and then backported it to some of my older scenarios like this one, and gave it a nice Tiberian green theme to suit the rest of the mod. And I should say that when you're playing as Nod, you get to talk to Commander Shepard. Now, as mentioned earlier, I filled this scenario with custom buildings, and those with a keen eye will notice some Red Alert stuff in there too, as admittedly I needed to fill some gaps that I just couldn't find good Tiberian universe equivalents for, so apologies to the purists. Also, as mentioned earlier, we've got a bunch of custom wonders as well, so we've got things like the Hand of Nod that helps their troops be stronger, and we've got GDI Economic Aid, which gives them some income benefits, and then of course we've got all the units, and as you can see I've added quite a few with lots of famous GDI and Nod units from both the first and second Tiberian wars. So we've got things like flame tanks and artillery to bust through base defences, and of course the almighty mammoth tank, which has some rather nice anti-air abilities. So how about I give you a better look at these units, as here's a promotional save I made where it has all the units scattered around the desert ready to tear each other to bits, and I'll show you a few more sound effects too, as I want to show you the almighty one, as I think it's time we go full Gandhi and drop a Nod nuclear missile on one of those poor GDI cities. As to make this, I combined a whole bunch of sound effects from the original game together to make this sound utterly epic and devastating. Oh, the humanity.
Warm up.
Now here's some other fun ones like the A-10 Warthog. And here's the Jump Jet Troopers. Sound pretty cool. And why don't we show you the other big one? Let's just imagine if Gandhi had one of these babies.
Ion cannon ready.
Oh my god, I've made it very dramatic, haven't I? Now speaking of death and destruction, next I may as well show you what happens when you die, as I was always a fan of this rather nasty video in CnC 2 Tiberian Sun. Oh, splat! So lastly, why don't I actually play a few turns of the scenario now? And since we've already had a look at Nod attacking some cities, why don't I show you what it's like to be GDI trying to survive the onslaught? I don't know how many turns we'll get done, as I don't want this to go for too long, but obviously Africa's a big place, so we've got a lot of stuff to control, and a lot of chaos to try and get on top of, as GDI are in real disarray. Now as we saw earlier, Nod get the first turn, so GDI's game opens up to absolute chaos. And I might turn the sound down a bit. As much as I want to show you sound effects, it's all overlapping and there's absolute carnage going on right now. Nods pouring out of their secret bases with vast armies of tanks and buggies and a bit of heavy artillery as well. Pretty much all Gen 1 stuff, and you're defending with Gen 1 stuff as well, as some of that nice Generation 2 Tiberian Sun stuff doesn't come until you research the technologies. Ooh, I think Alexandria might be in trouble. Oh, they got it. Sometimes they like to nuke Cairo as well in the opening turn. It looks like they're behaving this time around, saving the nuke for later. Well, those casualties aren't too bad. Admittedly, the AI is just not as smart as a human player. A human player can do so much more damage as Nod. And of course, as the storyline suggests, you know, Africa's in chaos, GDI are losing control, lots of cities to the warlords in this rebellion, so even the cities we do still have control of are still in disorder. So with each of these, I'm going to have to try and plug up the gaps and entertain the angry people to distract them from all the death and destruction going on around them. We're also suffering the effects of GDI using a democratic system, as we've got units away from cities making citizens angry. So it's going to be hard for them to hold out against Nod, who don't have the same problem due to being under a fundamentalist government led by their Lord and Saviour Kane. Nice sound effects for construction as well. And I should mention that, like, most of this I haven't really touched. I've left it the way Wonks designed it, so if things seem a bit unbalanced or messy, admittedly, yeah, that's why. But hey, if you're a good enough Civ 2 player, you should be able to bring order to the chaos pretty quickly. Gulp. Oh my god, it just doesn't stop, does it? Everybody's so angry. Alright, here we go. Operation Survive. And try not to lose any more cities. And as you guys saw earlier in the video, Nod just have so many units and so much firepower just in this northern region, so it's going to be very hard to stop them. We've got a little bit of naval out here though, so I may as well use them to bombard some of these units outside of the forts, as we don't want those artilleries and flame tanks attacking Cairo. Oh, that hurt a bit, so I don't have anything to stop those remaining tanks, which are a little bit worried, and of course there's plenty more coming. We've got one surviving tank in Cairo, and if I send him out into the desert to kill somebody, he's a sitting duck, so I'm probably better off leaving him in here. He's actually the best defender left in this city, and behind the firestorm he might have a chance. I'm trying to think of something better to build here. Looks like the city already has spent some production, so if I put it to a tank, I can get it in 2 turns if I can hold the city for that long. Another tank would be very useful here, even though there's like 20 enemy ones nearby. While another Jeep would be helpful, I'm actually tempted to go for another tank if I can. I don't think the production of this city is optimized either. Hang on. Yeah, there we go, that's much better. So now it should come in a bit quicker. Yeah, there we go, that's better. Now, as one is probably safe for the moment, so I think I might send this Jeep up to help with the Cairo situation. And this will probably get him killed, but if I can take out that Jeep, I'll get a stack kill. Yeah, there we go. 2 units destroyed, nice. Good enough. Got just enough moves to return to Cairo to heal and help in the defense of the city. Now, it looks like this is it for our northern forces. We got one more Jeep and a trooper unit out in the desert, so we better bring them up to the cities to help. And this is interesting. Luxor is actually building an advanced GDI defense tower. Now, they're actually not available yet, but because the city is set to do it, we probably want to leave it on there, as boy could we use one of those, as that can hold off a whole lot of tanks. Now, Luxor is actually looking a bit vulnerable, as it doesn't have a firestorm defense wall, so I think I might move the Jeep up to there to help hold the city for now, and maybe help in the Cairo situation later. And I'll just put the troopers in Aswan for now. Now, this base is in real trouble. There's no way I'm holding this one. So I think I might use this Jeep to try and get a stack kill on that buggy, as that might slow them down a bit. Oh no! There's a tank underneath the buggy. Oh dear. So in the end, all I did was make it easier for them. But oh well. You win some, you lose some, folks. Now, over in the west, things aren't all that great either, and I'd love to take all those neutral cities up there, but we just haven't got much firepower here. So other than a little bit of scouting, I think I might keep these forces in the city, because there's just so many Nod tanks nearby that I don't want to lose this city, as it's kind of on its own out here, and I can't get reinforcements out there easily, so I'm going to need to use what I've got in there and optimize the city a bit. Like a defensive tower might be better as well, as then I might be able to venture out a bit if I've got more towers defending the city. Now, over on the coast there isn't a great deal either, but I think I might hold off and head up north, because I know I've got this big fleet of reinforcements coming down from Europe, including a mammoth tank, and I can use those forces to attack all these northern neutral warlord cities, so then I can build my strength up in this area and use it as a staging ground to counter-attack Nod and repel any attacks they throw at me, because you know they'll be coming for those neutral cities real soon. Now, I'm thinking I might split the navy up, and I'll use the ships to help open up some of these cities, and then I'll send them around to try and attack the Nod navies up north and down south as well. So knowing I've got that force coming down, I might just leave these riflemen in the city, as they're not really useful anywhere else at the moment, and I don't want another city rioting. Now, it looks like we've got a tank and a ship here, and there's also a buggy nearby, and they're connected by a railway, so I should be able to use this to attack this neutral city here, although there is a huge Nod force nearby, so I'm going to need to be quick and try to put as much as I can in this city to hold it. And we've got it. Guard tower's probably the best option for here at the moment, as I need quick but strong defense. Now I'll bring that Jeep over and we'll use it to have a little bit of scouting before I park it in the city again. So I just want to make sure there isn't anything too close. As you guys saw earlier in the video, they got a whole lot of stuff there. Alright, so it looks like we've got another tank and another Jeep. This is good, because as you guys can see, a tank and Jeep combo is pretty much all you need to take a neutral city, as the tank is just strong enough to breach the city walls and take out the troopers defending, and then the Jeep can just swing right in and take the city. And it'll often still have enough moves left to scout the area for nearby Nod troops. And now that I think of it, I should also mention that another reason why you want to take neutral cities is that if you leave them, they will eventually start building the forgotten mutants, which are quite deadly, and you don't want them knocking on your doorstep while you're trying to deal with Nod at the same time. As yeah, I know it seems kind of nasty to be attacking neutrals as GDI, but you know, this is a warlord uprising, and we need to get these cities back from them, as we can't be fighting a battle against two enemies at the same time. We've already got battles on so many fronts, so we don't need extra ones. So we've managed to get two more, but it looks like Nod have a patrol up in those hills, so we're going to need to clear that out. Oh, and if you're wondering why you're hearing missile bike sounds in the middle of the tank fight, it's because both units share the same sound slot file, unfortunately. But if I do a test of time version of this, I should be able to fix that problem, as that allows for separate unit sounds for each individual unit slot. But in this one, I had to combine a few things, sadly. I'm going to send another ship down, as well as I know Nod have some subs in that sort of middle western coastal area that we need to take care of. So now, over in the east, what are we going to do? We've been completely cut off from the north, and there's a bit of travel time between the south and here as well, so we've got to be careful with the forces we have in this area. As yes, we've got a tank and a Jeep, but I don't want to do anything stupid with them. So I'm thinking maybe if I quickly go to the east and take those neutral cities off near the coast, I can then quickly bring my forces back west again, and then if Nod isn't here yet, we'll then go out to meet them and take as many neutral cities as I can. Plus, that'll also give me time to bring up more forces from the south to help out too. Also, if memory serves, I think there's a bunch of Nod units in these eastern mountains here as well, so I've got to be very careful. In fact, there's a ship in the city, so if I use that, I might actually be able to take the city this turn. Haha, there we go. Beautiful. It's a bit luck of the draw with the gunboats though, because some of these cities do have coastal defenses that will just chew up a gunboat, and you'll need one of the bigger cruisers to get in there instead. I think I'll bring these riflemen over to help defend the town, so I can quickly get my Jeep and tank out of there to take the next city. And I'll leave the ship in there too. Now I've got another Jeep here as well, just sort of the last useful thing in this area, so I might cut through the center to see if I can take out some of those Nod troops I know are in the mountains, starting with this one. Ah, good. He'll need that veterancy to deal with the rest that are in there, because I think there's still 2 or 3 more squads out there somewhere. So it looks like we've got another Jeep and tank combo, but a little bit of distance between this city and any neutrals. I could send them east to help with that front, since I don't have much over there. As if I send them west, they're not going to be able to take any cities this turn, and we know Nod have a huge army over there, and we won't be able to stop them yet. So, actually, I know I've got more forces in those southeastern cities, so maybe I should send these guys up north to try and help with that whole area, because it's looking quite vulnerable with all those neutral cities and Nod armies coming down. Because if I can't quickly get control of this eastern situation, then I've got no hope of getting up north to help there in time. Now we've got another gunboat, so I may as well put that to use. I can't attack that city, but I think I can just make it to Mogadishu, although I don't know if I can get a land unit there to take the city after I clear it out, so we'll have to have a look and see what we can do. But to even have a chance of getting to there, I'm going to need to take Nairobi. I've got some tanks, so why don't we give them a go and see if we can... Now fortunately there's some maglev rails near here, but they fall short, so even with them the tank doesn't make it, so we're definitely going to need a Humvee to get up there. Okay, I think he's going to make it. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we just got to bust through with the ship now. Of course, in my haste, I've left Nairobi undefended. Now, the rifleman's not going to make it there, so I'm going to need to find another buggy. But this is good because the east is almost fully taken now, which means I'm going to be able to bring all these forces up north now to try and take those cities and reconnect, and then go even further north to try and stop Nod's main attack force. Now, what to do with this last buggy? It's tempting to send him out to scout, but I can see that tank already found a Nod trooper out there, so I better go kill him. Now, of course, these cities are now going to be even more upset than they already are because I just sent their troops out. Now, it looks like this Jeep is on the same maglev rail network, so I should be able to do something interesting with him too. I think I'll keep going and send him into the mountains to help the other Humvee to try and hunt for those other Nod troops that I know are in there somewhere. Now I've got another Humvee ready to go here, and oh yeah, we got a nice tower in this area, so this place is very safe, which means I think I'll use this Jeep to help the other forces in the south take these neutral warlord cities. And we've got another ship too, so I guess I'll send him up as well to help the others. Oh, and it looks like we've got a small peacekeeping force over here in Madagascar. Doesn't look like it's being supported by any of my cities, so it should be fine just to leave it there. It's harmless for now. I've got more Jeeps, but I need something stronger to break through the town's defenses, so there's a tank there, but I know I've got even better stuff down south. Yeah, here we go, look at this. We've got orcas and mammoths. As you can see, this is where GDI's real power is. You've just got to get it up north, and that's going to take some time. But we do have a nice big maglev rail network to help. So let's get these wonderful mammoths up as high as we can along the rail network. We should be able to take Osaka, although we'll have to do it at sub-strength, but the mammoths should be strong enough to get the job done still. Oh yeah, that was easy in the end. Now that Humvee has somewhere to go, so I'll bring him around and... oh dear. More hidden Nod units in the way. I'll have to kill him. Excellent. Looks like I've still got just enough moves to take the city anyway. We should do nicely. And oh no, we've got another Nod harassment unit nearby. I'm going to bring up another mammoth tank. Well, I'll take that airfield on the way. And I don't think I'm going to have enough moves to get there and kill him though. I mean, he'd probably get the job done at 1/3, but I don't really want to try my luck. I've got some more Jeeps, so I think I'll use them.
On my way.
Now, what to do here in the west? We've got a little bit of firepower, but I think we're going to need some backup. So why don't I send that third and final GDI mammoth tank up to help there. Okay, got him all the way up here, but problem is we're going to need to get that village out of the way before we can go any further. The mammoth should be able to do it, although he is up on a hill. Oh god. Oh man, there goes one of my mammoths. I've got a limited supply of those things, darn it. Well, at least until later, because you can research them, thankfully. But right now, we don't have many, so that's annoying. Oh, well, hopefully I've damaged it enough that I can still get through with a medium tank. No, no! Okay. This is a bit of a setback for the west side. We're not going to be steamrolling anyone anytime soon here. I know the Jeep will die instantly without doing any damage probably, so I just need another tank. Is there any other tanks left in this area that I can bring up? Aha! Here's one. Let's hope it's third time's a charm. Alright, here we go. Oh no, oh no, oh, he just did it. I nearly lost 3 tanks to this stupid village. Oh my god. Okay, the west is finally open. What a pity I don't have any tanks left to roll up there. Oh, well, let's scout around with that Jeep we saved. I doubt I'll be able to bust through the city walls with a Humvee, but... yeah, no, sure enough. There goes that. Oh my god. You're seeing some really great strategic decisions from me here in the west. Clearly I should have just gone up the coastline instead, as the village on that road is mine, so I would have had a safe trip, but oh well. I know you're all thinking, aren't you the guy who made this? But I'm like, well, not really. I'm just the guy that remastered it. I mean, I have played with the balancing a bit, because it was a bit crazy before, but it's still a little bit funky. But I think mostly that's just my own stupidity. I could have done that way better. Oh, good, we do have another tank that I can get up there. Thank goodness for that. Whew. I think I'm going to have to send most of what's left now up this western side to make up for my terrible blunders. So I'm sending this Jeep over. There's more ships there too, which I'll move in a sec. But I think I might have actually weakened the defenses enough that I just might be able to take it with another Jeep. Let's see if this is another bad decision. Haha, got it. Now I just need another Jeep to get up there and take the city itself. But I'm just going to move these ships first. I'll send them up north as well to help, as they're useless down here as it's completely safe. And that trooper's not going to be much use. I need another jeep. Here we go. Get your ass up there and take that city. Many men have died in trying to finish what they started. There we go. Whew. Oh no, we got more Nod out there. Great. Oh, I better go back and fortify. Oh, and I should take this moment to mention that if you guys have spotted any spelling mistakes, it really wouldn't surprise me, as I've fixed a whole bunch that I've spotted, but there's still probably more that I haven't noticed because, you know, there's a lot of African names and I can't be bothered checking every single one of them. So if you see something, just let me know and I'll fix it in a patch later. Now, I should say for anyone watching this, being an old game, Civ 2 does look quite small in modern resolutions. However, I'm viewing this on a really big screen, so everything looks great. So if everything's too small for you, I'm sorry. You know, view it on a bigger screen. And if you're playing the game yourselves, you can zoom in, although the game's internal scaler is not particularly great. So really the only other alternative would be to lower your Windows resolution a bit. But otherwise, you know, on a big screen, the game looks great. But if you're viewing this video on a phone, then I warn you now, you're probably going to struggle to see what's going on throughout most of this. Now, I think the Southern Fleet down here might be the last of the stuff I need to move. So I'll probably send all of them up northwest to deal with those Nod subs I know are out there somewhere. Oh, and I realized that there were no Aegis cruisers in the Tiberian universe, so obviously I've taken the Red Alert 2 one, because I just needed something more powerful than a gunboat, and obviously there wasn't much naval in the Tiberian universe until later CnC games, but you know, I couldn't use models from that, so I needed something from the Gen 1, Gen 2 sort of era games, and I just thought, you know what, why don't I take the Red Alert 2 Aegis cruiser and GDI-ify it. Oh well, there we go, that's it. We've moved everything, we're finally there. That took ages, didn't it? So of course, now that I've moved a whole bunch of stuff out of the cities, I'm going to need to fix up all their angry people. So I might actually fast forward through this bit, so you guys don't have to sit there watching me do this. Alright, so I fixed a bunch of them up with entertainers, so let's end the turn. Yeah, 4 units lost to my own stupidity. Well, looks like Kane wants to talk to us. If I am cut, do I not bleed? Nice try, Kane, but I'm not afraid of ghosts or you.
You got it.
Yep, sure enough, they took that one easily. Oh, looks like he wants to brag again. No, sorry. History has forgotten you, Kane. Oh, the neutrals are siding with me, it would appear. Interesting. The peaceful Madagascan neutrals are allied with both of us, so I wasn't sure which way they were going to go. Oh, sure enough, they're attacking that city I took. It's vulnerable, but I've held on to it. Beautiful. So we're getting lots of order restored, and oh, these guys love me. As you can see, I've got a nice picture for that. The technology of peace. Lots and lots more order restored. Oh, there's one I missed. They still hate me. And another one. Bloody hell. Ah, come on. Jeez, maybe I should have put this on a lower difficulty for the purposes of this video. This one's a real mess. How do I fix this one without everyone starving? Yeah, that'll do. We've got that engineer. May as well get this place to build a power plant to boost production. Yeah, well, we know what the engineer's doing next. More order restored. Oh, another happy. More. Oh, another happy. My goodness. Oh, there we go. Okay, okay. Wow. I'm probably not going to do too much more in this gameplay demonstration. Sorry, guys. But hey, look at it as a good tutorial on how to get started as the GDI. And, you know, if you guys want to play games and post videos about it, please let me know. I would love to see them. But yeah, before we stop things, let's have a look up north in the danger zone and see how things are going. Oh my god, look at all the... Oh my god. I think Cairo is gone next turn, probably. Look at all that. Still got my ships, so I'll try and knock off a few more of them. Ooh, look, the subs are coming across. Oh, I better take them out as they're carrying cruise missiles, and one of them may have the nuke on it, as the AI does love to put nukes on subs. Yeah, that's about all I can do, really. Yeah, in Cairo we got a bit, but not enough to stop all that. Obviously, you know, I probably should have spent money on buying the tank earlier and buying stuff in the other two cities as well, as I certainly captured plenty of gold taking all those cities, so that probably would have been a better strategy, as otherwise it takes too long and you're going to lose the cities. Hell, in some games I lose Cairo in turn 1 anyway, so you know, it depends. The AI likes to do things differently every time around, and like I said, sometimes it drops a nuke there. Alright, why don't we have some fun with this northern fleet first, before the end though, as I should be able to bust through these cities and just drop the troops right in there. No, he's got coastal defense. That's alright, he got the job done. Like I said earlier, that's why you need the cruisers, as the gunboat probably would have got chewed up by that. So now I should be able to just move the transport in, which then means the remaining tanks and a rocket launcher, which is the only one you've got at the moment until you research it. But now they're all on the maglev rail networks, which means we should be able to take some more cities right now.
Unit ready.
Now look at that, the mammoth alone is going to clean up most of it. This mammoth is going to be very important for this northern battle, because he's the only one on this end of Africa. The medium tank should be able to clean up the rest, and not have a lot of stuff coming out of Tripoli, so it's hard to decide whether to leave the tank in the city or put him in the fort, because it is on a hill, so it might be quite effective there, especially in delaying them or setting them up for the mammoth to come in and kill them. Now sadly the rocket launcher's not fast enough to make it along the road to the city, so I'll bring another ship across again and let him do it, and then I can move in with that last vehicle. He can continue his journey down south. Oh no, I don't have enough moves there either. Oh, there you go. Oh well, down here, yeah, we're just trying to hold on at the moment, and there's just so much bad stuff nearby and not really any reinforcements to back them up, so it's going to be tough going, but we'll try and hold on there. We'll get these idiots out of the mountains. Go away.
On my way.
We'll clear these pesky guys out too. Oh no. Another village. Oh, we are not going after that after what happened last time. We need these forces for other things. Oh no, we got another one. Oh, well, we're kind of boxed in here then, aren't we? We need a whole bunch more turns to really, you know, make some progress in this area. Alright, well, I think that's it. How about we leave it there? You can see that Nod's got some more harassment troops heading down south into my area, but I should have enough coming up to clear them out of there and take some more neutral cities. And now that I've taken so many, it should give me a big economic and research advantage over Nod, because the Nod player starts with less cities, so it really is critical for him to take as many cities as possible. And the AI just isn't as good at doing it as a human, because if you're playing as the Nod, you can take a whole bunch on the first turn as well. But does that mean his massive armies have magically disappeared? No, they're out there and you're going to have to deal with them. And as for over in the west, like I said, things are pretty touch and go. I mean, Nod's got a massive force, 2 massive forces nearby, and yeah, you've just got a few little tanks here and there. You've managed to take a couple of cities, but really we're just, you know, you're trying to hold on until you can hopefully build some reinforcements or get another army from elsewhere to this area to help out. That's the same with the northwest, really. Just take everything you can and then try to build some more units to reinforce the area to try and slow the Nod advance. If you can be effective with that mammoth and that medium tank, you can hopefully hold them back for a while. And over in the northeast, yeah, like I said earlier, things are pretty bad here, and maybe spending some money and buying some stuff could possibly allow you to hold out for a bit longer, but they got so much stuff there, which makes it all the more important to really consolidate this eastern area and just get all the forces in this area up north as quickly as possible, just smashing through those neutrals to get to the northern cities before you lose them all. Yeah, I think I'll leave it there for the gameplay demonstration. As you can see, I've made a nice little quit icon as well. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this tour, and if you've got any compliments, feel free to send them to me, and if you've got complaints, send them to Wonks. He's not really around at Civ Fanatics anymore, so he won't hear them anyway. But I had a lot of fun remastering this, and I'm looking at possibly doing an enhanced test of time version in the future, so stay tuned for that. There's also a new mod for Civ 2 Gold Edition by a fellow named Duplj, who, similar to the Civ 2 UIA mod, has added heaps of bug fixes and new additions and gameplay changes to Civ 2 MGE, including support for large PDA images like what Test of Time has. But he's gone even further and done it for units and technologies, which you can't even do in Test of Time. So of course, CnC has lots of beautiful unit and building images that I could add to this mod. So stay tuned for a possible add-on to this mod using that. However, I've got some other Civ 2 scenarios to finish first, as this project was nothing compared to what was to come, because I wanted to take all the skills I've learned while making the Heroes of Might and Magic 2 mod with Metropolis and this CnC scenario on my own and make something even bigger. As yes, as mentioned earlier, I'm working on a huge Red Alert 2 Siege of New York Civ 2 scenario with massive 3x3 square destructible skyscrapers with garrisons inside of them, which Civ 2 fans will not be used to seeing. I then went on to make a big Dune 2 total conversion scenario filled with original authentic graphics, and I'm currently working on a huge Sid Meier's Alpha Centauri scenario as well. And in between all those big projects, I've also been working on a whole bunch of mini total conversion projects of other people's scenarios, such as Terminator, Civ 1, Warcraft, Starcraft, my old Star Wars scenario, the Barbarian Conquest scenarios, a better terrain graphics mod for regular vanilla Civ 2 games, a PlayStation Civ 2 graphics mod, Test of Time back converted graphics mod, and many other little ones for Civ 2 as well. There's even a Master of Magic scenario for Test of Time I've been working on and off with too, and I hope to convert some of these other scenarios over to Test of Time as well. And on top of all that, I've been working on a huge preservation project rescuing thousands of other people's Civ 2 mods that have been lost over the decades. So if you want more info on all this stuff, make sure you check out my main Civ 2 HD tour episode that this video is a bonus to. And like I said earlier, I'm also going to be doing big tours on CnC and Red Alert mods for other Civ games in the future, as there's a few out there. This is all part of a huge video series I'm doing where I'm looking at each Civ game, how to play them in HD, and checking out their best total conversion mods and scenarios. And not just the regular Civ games, but also all the great spin-offs like Colonization, Master of Magic, Alpha Centauri, and Call to Power. I'm also going to try and play as the Barbarian faction in all of these games via hacks or cheats. I'll also be looking at great fan games out there like Free Civ and Free Col and Sea Evo. And like I said earlier, I'll be looking at all their best total conversion mods as well as showcasing some of my own mods for them too. So yep, there's lots coming. So stay tuned, guys. See you next time, fellow commanders. Bye.
You